What's up, Heat Seekers? I am Joe Otis from joeislit.com, and welcome to this week's edition of Lit Picks. It is week 5, and I have just defeated Mike Costello last week by a score of 19-15. He barely missed out on his mega parlay with the Raiders game going under. They couldn't score enough points together with the Chargers, and that resulted in his mega parlay not hitting. So I would end up going on to win. And at this time, I'm going to bring in my tag team partner, the one and only Mike Costello. Mike, how are you?
I'm upset that I lost. Better yet, I think I'm upset the fact that you text me and a couple of, the people who are on here that you really hope this game goes under just so I would lose. So I really appreciate that you hope that I can't win in anything. So you just root against me. So I really appreciate that. But I'm glad that you can hear me. I'm glad that this seems to be working. So let's get started.
Yeah, I do appreciate it too. Do you like my Brewers hat on?
I do. I guess they won today, right? They won 2-1.
They won. They beat the Braves. Up 1-0 in the series.
I don't really pay attention to baseball, but are the Yankees still in it?
The Yankees are eliminated from the
okay. Just checking. Oh, okay. All right.
I think it's funny that if you read the comments in the chat here, you got the two dopes saying, glad you could figure out the technology this week.
Wasn't on my end.
And Bob was pointing for the under, but you got these comedians talking about the technology when, God forbid, they have their own show where the music, when it comes on, it freaking takes your ears out, and the people that are talking, you can barely hear them. How about that? Do you ever listen to the show, Mike?
What?
Their show.
No, I haven't actually. A couple times. I used to drive to work and listen to it. Not anymore.
Why not?
They changed their little, they changed it to more advanced technology.
He said he fired his audio guy.
Yeah.
That's Bob's fault. All right, so let's get into it for this week. It is week 5 once again of Lit Picks and of the NFL season. More importantly, with football, we are so excited here. We are back. It's 1 month down, and it seems like there's a lot more to go with 18 weeks in the season. And again, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let me go over the rules with you guys. So if you pick the underdog outright, which is 3.5 points and higher, you get 4 points. If you pick the underdog outright, which is 3 points and less, you get 3 points. If you pick the game spread or the over and under, you get 2 points. If you pick the favorite, you get 1 point. And at the end of the show, we do go over our mega parlay, which is a 14 parlay over plus 600. And whoever's parlay hits with the higher odds gets 6 points. Let's see what these guys have to say. Cause fears HTSD and snow. And one of the rules should be you both should shave or switch to radio.
I did shave.
I shaved last week too.
I mean, better than I used to with my gray beard that I had. So pretty proud.
All right. So let's get this banner going right now.
Still have to get the wife to give me another haircut, though. It's getting a little long.
She does a fantastic job with your haircut.
Yep. We put a bowl over the head and,
Which is the New York Jets at the Atlanta Falcons. It is going to be 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, live from London, in England, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The weather will be 65 degrees and overcast, so a lot of great weather this week. So here's my ballsy pick. This is probably my hot dog of the week. I'm going to take the Jets on the money line here. So at plus 135 is a low underdog. They're going to be playing an Atlanta Falcons team that, I'm not that impressed about. They won 2 weeks ago for the first win of the season. The Eagles beat them pretty easily. I just think that they're due to lose a game here. They beat the Giants 2 weeks ago, and I just think that they're not that great. Calvin Ridley's not making the trip to England, so with that, it's a big injury. So I'm going to take the Jets on the money line as a low underdog. I'm impressed. Zach Wilson seems to be he's improving slightly each week as every week goes on, and I liked what they did last week with their upset win over the Titans. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe pick. Especially what's going on in Atlanta, but both of these teams are bad. The Jets just won a big one last week, and that's why it's kind of like it's kind of a scary move here. I'm going to just be safe here and take the under. I don't see how there's going to be 45 points scored in this game. I just don't. I mean, I do think that Cordarrelle Patterson's going to have a big game. I do think Kyle Pitts is going to score his first touchdown of his career. That's one of the props that I like this week. I mean, who are they going to throw to? So they have to do something. I also think the Jets, I think they play better with Crowder. I really do. I think, he's a serviceable guy in the slot, but I still don't see this being a game that's going to be over 45. I mean, 24-21, I don't think anybody scores 24. So I'll take
Kyle Pitts doesn't score a touchdown this week, or at least has a big week. He's never going to have a big week.
If there's any time to shine, it's now.
Absolutely. Let's see. When is the Hammer going to be a guest? Whenever he wants to. Good news, early game at 9:30. Bad news, these two garbage teams. I agree with that. Now the British should start on the war with. That's true. How much of Atlanta's ineptitude is Matt Ryan's fault? That's a really good question. I think he could be getting old, and I think it might be time to get rid of him. I think it's a lot of his fault, to be honest with you. I mean, he still has good players. They took the 4th overall pick on the tight end, and Ridley, when he was healthy, you still have to take advantage of the matchups that he can bring against defenders. I'm not that impressed with the running game, but I think that, he lost a big player in Julio Jones, but Julio Jones also is aging, so I think age could be a factor, and I think that maybe Matt Ryan's towards the end there, maybe they should start looking to get a new quarterback. What do you think?
See, I think the opposite. I don't think he looks that bad. He gets the ball downfield. I think it's pure scheme. They have the new coordinator. I think Cordarrelle Patterson has taken into a lot of the Pitt stuff. I think it's scheme. I think it's just they're not focusing on, how to get kind of, Ridley the ball or anything like that. And I think, Ryan's getting towards the end of his career, but I wouldn't say that it's something like a Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely not that bad at all if you watch him and he actually throws it. But I think a lot of it is the scheme. And I disagree with the scheme. That coordinator left, and they're not the same.
Not a serious question. How much of Atlanta's ineptitude is Matt Ryan's long neck? I say none of it.
I never noticed it. I don't know.
I never noticed his neck either.
No, look at a picture. Yeah.
All right, so the next game is the Miami Dolphins at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, live from Raymond James Stadium on Sunday. From Tampa, the weather will be 83 degrees and clear. So there's no weather issues here. I just think the Buccaneers are going to dominate the Dolphins. I think that it's going to be something like 35 maybe to 10 at most. So I'm going to take the under, which is 48. I think it's going to be a dominating performance by the Buccaneers over the Dolphins. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is a bounce back. Brady in New England, there was a lot of emotions kind of going in there. They end up taking that. He didn't score a single touchdown for me and lost my fantasy week because of that, but it's okay. I still forgive him. He's still the greatest. And yeah, easy with them laying the 9.5 here, especially with Miami. There's actually, if you look, I believe that they're still projected to win 8.5 games. I don't see that. So go for it.
See, Jesus, Joe, are you drinking directly from a water cooler?
It really was. It looked like you had like a little mini water thing. I don't know what you had. It was ginormous.
What office complex did you steal the water cooler from, Otis? I stole it from the Dunder Mifflin water office complex. Finns are well coached, but Brady wins easy. Yeah. This game is a trap. Tampa will sleepwalk through this one and win a close one. Letdown game for the Bucs, and Miami needs a game.
I don't think so, because actually the last I checked, and I don't know, I have to double check, but I thought both Miami corners didn't practice again today, and that's not good. Definitely not good. I'm pretty certain that they did not practice today.
All right, so let's move on to our next game, which is the Green Bay Packers at the Cincinnati Bengals, which is live from Cincinnati, Ohio, another clear, beautiful weather game for the fall. I think that this game, with the spread being 2.5, I think that's a spread where they want you to put a lot of money on the Bengals, being Vegas, of course. I don't think this is a trap game at all for the people to take the Packers. I think that I'm gonna lay the 2.5, which seems like nothing. I think they're gonna win this game by 10 or 20. So I think that the Packers, they were off to a very bad start this season. They won the last 3 games. I'm very, very much impressed with Green Bay. They looked pretty good in San Francisco a couple weeks back. What else can you say? I mean, the Packers are on a roll again. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm surprised that it's 2.5. I mean, I thought it'd be like 6.5, something like that. I'm shocked with that. So I think that's a great play there. I definitely think the Packers win this easy. I'm taking the over. Green Bay's defense doesn't look good. Cincy's defense doesn't look good. I can easily see both teams scoring 30-some points or, 30 to 20, 34-24, something like that. I can see it. Burrow's been playing well. So I see a high-scoring game here, so I'm taking the over.
All right. Let's go to the audience. The Finns have looked bad this year. I agree with you.
Yeah, they're not the same.
I like the over in this game. Pack D stinks. Roddy Pipe, a reality check for the Bengals. I think so too. I mean, this is not the Jaguars are playing this week. They struggled against the Jaguars.
They should have lost.
They should have lost that game, exactly. They struggled and the Jaguars covered. So I think this is a completely different team. This is a much better team than the Jaguars. And I think the Packers will cover 2.5. I mean, that's, like I said, that seems like it's not a lot of points for the Packers, but we'll see what happens. All right, the next game is the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. It'll be 1 p.m. from Jacksonville, Florida. Huge controversy this week coming out of Jacksonville with Urban Meyer getting caught grinding up with a woman at the bar. I think that he lost his locker room. It seems like they all laugh at him behind his back. So, with that being said, I don't really think that the Jaguars are going to be rallied behind him. I think they're still probably laughing at him, and it's just a sad situation. I mean, do you think he probably has his foot out the door? He's probably looking towards USC. I don't know, or maybe even LSU once Ed Orgeron gets fired. But for this game, I'm just going to take the over in this one, which is 49. And it doesn't. I think I can still see Trevor Lawrence maybe putting up 2 or 3 touchdowns, and I think that the Titans will run the ball down their throat with Derrick Henry. I also like what I've been seeing out of Tannehill. I believe Julio Jones is out, and I think AJ Brown is back for this one. So I think this game's going to be something like 30, at least 35-25, maybe. Could be a little closer. That is a divisional matchup. What do you think?
I'm kind of against you on that one. I don't think there's going to be a lot scoring here. I mean, if the Jags, if there's one thing they're decent at, it's stopping the run. Now, I mean, I know that's because people could probably throw all over them, but I don't know. It is Henry could make a big difference here, but I think Tennessee wins this one. I'm going to take them laying the points. I know AJ Brown is back. I know Julio is still out. So I think that's going to help a little bit with things. I actually have him scoring a touchdown again this week as well. So I think that this is the Titans have to bounce back. I mean, they look pretty bad, but I don't know. Maybe they can kind of right the ship. I don't really know, but taking them with the points.
This week has been a grind for the Jags. I definitely agree with that one. Urban grabbing them cakes. The Titans have been sleepwalking this season. That's true. Colts will win the division with 9 wins.
False. They will not make over 8 wins.
Kaz drinks haterade on Derrick Henry.
I don't. I just never will have him in fantasy.
Because he doesn't catch balls?
Exactly, in PPR. I just never want him.
On to the next game. It is the New England Patriots at the Houston Texans, live from Energy Stadium in Houston. This looks like they'll have the roof open on this one. It'll be 84 degrees and partly cloudy, so it's really, really good weather for this one. I like the over personally in this one, but with that being said, I think the Patriots, they looked very good last week against the Buccaneers. I mean, they put up a good fight against them. It was a late field goal that was missed by Nick Folk. It was just hit the crossbar. You never know. There was still some time on the clock. Brady could have driven down the field and led the Bucs to victory, but for this game, I think that Mac Jones, maybe he's going to get brought back to earth here. I think it's a lot of points, which is 8 points. So I'm going to take the Texans plus 8. The Texans haven't been the worst team in football like everyone has predicted at the beginning of the season. They actually don't even look that bad with Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills both playing quarterback for them. What do you think?
So I took New England laying the points, and I just started reading that apparently their whole entire line is out. That's huge. I didn't know that going into this. I was all over the under in this, and I decided to take the Patriots laying the 8. I think the under. I think this game's going to be like 20-0 or like 20-3. So I still think the Patriots lay the 8, but the under is probably the safest. But I didn't know that all the line was out. That's huge. I don't know. I'm speechless now. I literally just flashed and I just saw that and I had no clue about that. So I don't know. I'm kind of speechless right now, but I'm still going to take the Pats laying 8.
Pats DSL, the quarterback is getting better. Rookie quarterback versus Belichick. Maybe go with the under. Yeah, that's true.
That's where I wanted to, but oh well, I'll stick with it because I think I put that in my mega. So it is what it is.
All right. Next game is the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. This is from US Bank Stadium inside the Dome in Minnesota. For this game, I like the two teams regarding what they do on offense. I think Jared Goff, he's been doing pretty well so far this year. The team stinks. Obviously, they haven't won a game yet. They probably should have beaten the Ravens. They cover against the Niners. They missed the late field goal. They probably should have won the game, but it was a really lucky field goal by the Ravens a couple weeks back. A lot of people think that the Lions are 0-4. They're probably the worst team in that division, but they're a team on the rise. I don't think they're as bad as people think. I think they're probably maybe past the bottom 7, past the bottom 5, maybe 7 or 8, I think. So with this game, I'm going to take the over. I like the offenses of both teams, which is only 49.5. I can see both of these teams at least putting up 25 points. What do you think, Mike?
I think that I like that. Yeah, I'm like hit or miss with this. Detroit fights. That's one thing they do, but they're beat up. And I think this is my Costellar pick here. It was at 9.5, and it bumped up to 10, and I don't like it as much. Like, I loved it at 9.5, and now 10, I'm like, ugh. But I think the Vikings are going to win this. I'm playing against Thielen this week. He's going to have 2 touchdowns. It's going to happen, because, I always bash him and just say he's a touchdown or bust kind of guy. So, he's going to score 2 this week. But I think this is another big game for Minnesota, especially with Cook still ailing. This is a game where they can kind of give him a little bit of a breather and throw the ball.
Here's what I like about the Lions. They play for Dan Campbell.
Yeah, they do.
Really, really like him. What they lack on talent, they make up for in heart. We'll get them past the Vikings. I don't think I'll get them past the 10-point underdog if they are. But still, I think that there's a possibility they can cover it, but I do like the over. I like their ability to at least score points in this game. So, especially with the great weather that there is this week, even though we're in a dome here, there's no really bad weather games. If you remember last year, you were basing some of your picks on the weather, which was pretty worked out for you on many times in the games that you picked. Let's see. The Lions are more boring than a cause lecture on the Mesopotamians.
I disagree with that statement 100%. My kids loved and if I taped it, I'd be a YouTube sensation.
Detroit plays tough. Minnesota isn't good enough to lay all those points. Can Campbell would be a good get-back coach? I think he means Dan Campbell. Dan, yes. Okay. All right. On our next game, which is the New Orleans Saints at the Washington Football Team, which is live from Landover, Maryland on Sunday. It's another early game there. Once again, it's going to be cloudy, but really good weather with 74 degrees. Not too crazy out there. The Saints took the DL last week against the Giants, and they've just been really inconsistent this season. They'll lose to the Giants, beat the Jets, they'll beat the Packers. I don't know what to do with this team. They lost to the football team. They lost to the Panthers as well. And I don't really know what to make of this team, but I think that when they're playing the football team this week, I think that I'm comfortable enough to say that I'm going to lay the 2.5 points. I think maybe Jameis will bounce back again. It seems as if when they do bad one week, they do good the next week. So that's why I like the Saints here. What do you think?
I'm going to answer this question I'm not very good at math, but I'm going to answer this question in 5 words. Alvin Kamara had 0 targets. I will never take the Saints again. Washington straight up.
Low underdog for Mike.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It is completely ridiculous. Ridiculous. I can't stress it enough that you don't throw the ball to one of the best backs in the game. Not one single target. But Taysom Hill can come in and run 95 plays.
The wrath of Peyton here. Peyton Manning? Sean Payton, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't think he loses 2 games in a row like that. I think that's why I like them in this one. I think they're going to win. But you really like the football team.
I do actually. I think they're playing a lot better. I think that the quarterback's playing well. Samuel's back. I do. I think that they're playing well. I think they're going to start hitting their stride now. So there it is. You okay there? Like a camel. All right. All right.
It's my gimmick.
Oh.
Kaz on Kamara. Wow.
I mean, they lost to the Giants, and he doesn't have a target. It's pretty bad.
All right, big game this week as the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. Another good weather game here. As much as I like the Eagles, there's no way I can pick them. It's like I have to pick with my head, not my heart. They look terrible. 2 weeks ago against Dallas on Monday Night Football. Last week they looked a little bit better, but they still didn't cover the spread against the Chiefs. They played good for the first quarter, for the first half they were in it, but I mean their offensive line has taken a really, really big hit with losing Isaac Sayamalo and with having Lane Johnson out again this week. So we're going to have I hope that they have like Jack Driscoll playing right tackle. And I know Jordan Mailata's back, but I don't trust Andre Dillard. Andre Dillard stinks. They should get rid of him. He was a horrible pick. So with that being said, I'm taking the Panthers -3. I just don't see there's any way. I don't see any way that the Eagles can win this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Panthers win this game too, but I think there's going to be some scoring here, and I'm taking the over. I think Darnold, he's playing well as a fantasy. Like it's like Blake Bortles. Like Blake Bortles plays well fantasy wise. When you watch him like play, not the greatest, So 45, I think, is pretty easy here. I can see the Eagles putting up 20. I can see the Panthers putting up 30. Boom, right there. There's 50. So I'll take that over any day.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Eagles are a popular upset pick this week, which means they will lose, probably.
That's because people are saying the Panthers played nobody, which, they beat the Jets, the Jags. They haven't beat anybody yet.
I think this game is going to be really close. Hurts played well last week. He probably is better than Dillard. Andre Dillard is terrible. I don't know how many more. That's probably the most penalized I've ever seen an offensive lineman get in a game, especially with really stupid penalties like being over 3 yards down the field on a passing play. That is ridiculous and awful. When he's not getting those penalties, he's getting holding.
That could be an RPO. I mean, I didn't watch it, but it could be an RPO, so you never know.
All right, next game. Denver Broncos at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game will be cloudy again, and the weather is still, once again, pretty good. Hopefully, no signs of rain. Now, the Steelers don't look really good this year. They're 1-3. They lost last week to the Packers, and I think a lot of people are going to be selling them short. I want to sell them short, but I just can't do it. Now with Mike Tomlin, I think they're going to bounce back a little bit here. I'm going to take them on the money line as a low underdog. I think that they bounce back at home against the Broncos. Do you know if Teddy Bridgewater starting or is Drew Lock starting this week?
So that's what I was going to ask you. So right now he's going to be starting if he clears the protocol, and like I said, that's direct correlation with my choice here. Like, if he plays, I like Denver laying the points. If he doesn't, you are looking at the 2 worst quarterbacks in the league right now. Like I think he's going to play. They said that he's probably going to. He's going to, if he clears the protocol, he's definitely playing. So I went with the under in this. And like I said, the reason why I went with this is because I thought Locke versus Roethlisberger, there's no way any team's going to be scoring 20 points in this game because they're so bad. But I love Denver. I've told you about them time and time again. It was on the first thing that we ever said. I said they were going to be one of the over teams, and right now they're on pace for that. I think I'm actually hitting on all of those that I talked about with the Colts and the under and all that. But yeah, I'm going to go with the under here and just play it safe because I don't think there's going to be a lot of big scoring with these defenses.
Steelers win here, even though they've burned me the past 2 weeks. Waiting for the Steelers to stop getting embarrassed. Is that coach in the hot seat? And I agree with that. Tomlin's probably safe.
Yeah, they're not going to fire him.
Ben has pride and will play better this week. I agree with that.
It's great that he has pride, but like I said, he still has to go on the field and perform, and he hasn't shown that.
All right, on to our 4 o'clock games. We start with a really, really great banger out in Los Angeles as the Cleveland Browns will be taking on the Los Angeles Chargers from Inglewood. inside the dome, which is kind of strange when you think that last week's game where there was thunder and lightning outside of a dome stadium, it got delayed, which I don't know, maybe because it's a glass stadium. If something happens, it's probably going to be horrific. But for this game, I really liked how the Chargers played last week. I thought they controlled the game against the Raiders, and I think that they are a contender. So with them being the home team, I'm going to take the Chargers laying the 2 points. They're not really a huge favorite, and 2 points, it's not a lot of points. So I'm really happy and comfortable with taking the Chargers on this one. What do you think, Mike?
So I think that, the Chargers played well, but they struggle against the run, I think. And, what does Cleveland do best? And, Stefanski is a really good coach. They run the ball. So I'm actually going to take the Browns here straight up. There's talk going on with Baker and that he's hurt and this and that. I was like, look, he's got a torn labrum. He's going to have to get surgery. I played a whole entire season as a tight end with a torn labrum. All right. It's not on his throwing shoulder, so I don't think it's going to affect him like when he runs the ball, but it's not going to affect him that much when he's, really trying to throw it and everything. So I don't think it's going to affect him too much. I mean, it stinks. It's an injury, but I think he's going to be able to pull through and he's going to have a big game. Odell's kind of back here. So I'm taking the Browns straight up.
Speaking of injuries, did you see Russell Wilson's finger last night?
I did. That's it stinks. That's like it's the first game I think he's ever going to miss in his career.
It looked like a hook.
Yeah.
His finger. That's ridiculous. Let's see. Pat says the Browns win here. Buddy likes the under.
Yeah.
I heard Baker's shoulder is worse than they thought. That could be really bad.
It could be too. Yeah.
I heard Myles Garrett is
that he didn't practice today, but like I said, I'm factoring in that he's going to play because this is such a big game for them. So I'm hoping if he doesn't play, then you may be on the right side of things, Joe.
Kaz was on the injury report in college for a torn shoulder and a bad cut.
I did have a terrible haircut, and it's the same haircut now. So why change?
All right, so our next game is the Chicago Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders, live from the Big Roomba in the desert, Allegiant Stadium this Sunday. If you have heard the news, Mike, today there's been some major controversy regarding John Gruden using racist language. I'm not comfortable taking the Raiders in this game, and I think the Bears will be starting Justin Field. I like the game. I think both teams can at least put up 23 points. So with that being said, I'm going to take the over here. I like Justin Field and I like Derek Carr. I like these two quarterbacks playing each other. And I think this is going to be a sloppy game where there's going to be a lot of points scored. What do you think?
Yeah, it could very well be that. I don't know. I know I'm going to take the Raiders laying the points here. And I said, this is a team that I just hate. I would never touch this at all. These are two teams I would never touch, but since we pick everything, I'll do it. But I'm going to take them here. I think Hicks is out. He's one of the best run stoppers in the game, and he's out. So I think that's going to help the Raiders a little bit here. So I'm going to take them laying the points.
So it looks like it's Khalil Mack taking on his old team. That's an interesting storyline there.
Yeah.
Let's see. The game sucks. It's against them. Bears in the over, no way. We'll just see what happens. All right. So the next game is the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. It's live from AT&T Stadium. Looks like the roof will be open here. It's a divisional matchup between the Giants and the Cowboys. For this game, the Giants had a win last week in New Orleans, and the Cowboys looked pretty good last week as well. So they're two teams that are on the rise here. I think Dallas is probably going to win the NFC East. So with that being said, I think they're going to win this game something like 20, maybe 24 to like 14. So I don't see this game having a lot of points in it. And I think 53 is a lot of points. I realize that over 50 points is a large amount. So whenever I just bang out the over, it doesn't work out for me. So with that being said, I'm going to take the under, which is 53. What do you think?
No, I think that's right. I think this is a bucket game. Cowboys are going to win this game. They're a better team. They're showing they're a lot better. Their defense is actually playing a lot better than I thought as well. Watching them, you have Dak, you have those guys. Lamb's going to go off this week. He's been kind of quiet, so I think this is a big week for them. I don't see the Giants. They just won last week. I don't see it happening again.
Yeah, they beat the Panthers last week, and they won rather easily. So they won by 8, so they covered the spread there. Were they underdogs last week?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. They weren't. All right, so I'm on to the next game, which is the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals, which very well may be our game of the week live in Arizona with an undefeated Arizona Cardinals team taking on the 49ers. So, I mean, what can you say about the job that Cliff Kingsbury is doing in Arizona with keeping them having an undefeated record, taking on the Rams, defeating them last week? So with that being said, I think that with the 49ers being the team that's traveling, where they're going to have some injuries, they're starting Trey Lance, making his first ever career start against the Cardinals, and I think that George Kittle is doubtful. I think that I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one, laying the 5 points. What do you think?
Sir Lancelot, man, don't count him out. Don't count out San Fran. Cardinals run defense, a little bit questionable. San Fran's going to come in here. They're going to pull the upset. Give me them taking the 5.
Who's going to run the ball for him, though? Is it your boy Mitchell?
Mitchell will be there. They'll have Sermon for a little bit. Lance is coming in, and you saw what happened last year with the, with the Eagles with Hurts, right? You have that offense. They came in against the Saints, who were the powerhouse back then. Brand new offense. They weren't ready for it, and they caught them by surprise. And then the next week, everybody caught onto it. So Shanahan, I'll take him any given time. Give me San Fran.
Lance going to make everyone forget about Jimmy.
That's I have him in every, you know me. I've had him in every single league. He's the guy I've been sold on this whole entire time. It's Sir Lancelot. It's over.
You guys like North Dakota State quarterbacks, looks like.
Who?
You do.
I do?
Trey Lance went to North Dakota State.
Okay, and who was the other one?
Carson Wentz.
And do I like him? Exactly. So no, do not put that reference there. I like Sir Lancelot.
Pat thinks the Giants are hot dog of the week. He's not sold with the Cowboys. Let's see. They're going to bet a 6-pack, it looks like. Are they going to do it? Only with the points? Let's see what Bob has to say. With the Cards starting this fast and that offense looking so good, do you guys think that the vaccine is a government? Yeah, it probably is. I think that they're being tracking us right now, sitting here on a Friday night, talking with you dorks about freaking. The government really cares what we're doing right now. The government must be losers monitoring us right now. All right, on to the next game. It is the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a great slate of action. I like the Chargers game this week. I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers playing the Browns. I like this game too. The Bills and the Chiefs. Here we go. This is Sunday Night Football. This is what the primetime action is all about. The Chiefs had a couple tough losses there to begin the season. They were 1-2, beating the Eagles last week rather easily. I think that them being the home team again, I think that they're going to be. I think they're going to go on a little roll here. That might have been the only 2 games they lose all season. So I like the Chiefs here, laying the 2.5 points. I think that the 2.5 points is a trick by Vegas to try to get everybody to put the money on the Bills. And I think the Chiefs are going to win. What do you think, Mike?
So I think this. I mean, if anything, I think this is a 1 or 2 point game. Like the Chiefs really don't cover that much, except for last week against the Eagles, which we kind of knew about. But I'm going to go with Buffalo here, and I'm going to take them straight up, winning this game. I just think their offense is very, very good, and they're a tough team to stop. And I think that if they go up early on the Chiefs, they may Reed might hit the panic button a little bit, and that might be the end of it. So I like the Bills here.
All right. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot funnier when there's a freaking little box on the freaking video that says this has incorrect COVID information, and then we're probably gonna report it and this will be taken down. But whatever. Chiefs win, but their defense terrifies me. Give me the Bills. They have a better D. Yeah, of course he does. It's my gat dog of the week. Only if it's good D, not we. These guys. All right, on to our last game, the Monday Night Football game. Hopefully it'll come down to it again this week, and it's gonna be the Colts taking on the Ravens. Live from Baltimore. Now this is gonna be my hot dog of the week because I really haven't made any risks with the underdog so far this week. Usually that's what helps bring me to the victories, but this time I'm gonna take the Colts on the money line plus 250 as a high underdog. I think that they got off to a pretty bad start this year. You don't like the Colts, but I think that they're going to be I do agree with Pat. I think they're going to be the team that wins the division there. I don't think Jonathan Taylor got off to a great start, but he's been picking it up lately. Their defense needs to pick it up, and they have to get healthy. That's the most important thing about the Colts. The Ravens there, the Ravens, after defeating the Chiefs in prime time, Mike looks like he's left us. So after beating the Chiefs in prime time, they really should have lost to the Lions. So Mike's going to take the Ravens -7. And so let's see what the audience has to say. Let's see. Ravens are going to be wearing the purple with a black pants band look, but they still win. I don't think that's that bad of a look. I mean, I think the purple with the white's better, but that's just, I guess that's for night. Karma's going to get the Ravens. I hope so. Where'd Mike go, everybody? He left. Yeah. What happened, Mikey? Mikey? Are you there? All right. Let's go to the Mega Parlay. But before we do that, let's play the
Hot Dog of the Week.
So I think for my hot dog of the week, I'm going to go with the Jets winning outright. Oh, his internet went down. He's trying to log back on. Uh-oh. Let's see. The government shut him down. Great. The ham's running on a wheel that powers his internet just died. That's awful. Let's go with the Mega Parlay time. And with the Mega Parlay, I am going to go with the Lions Vikings over 49.5. The Packers -2.5. The Steelers winning outright as underdogs, and the Chiefs laying the 2.5. That'll get you a plus 1234 parlay. You know, I mean, betting and getting 12 times back your investment is a good thing. And let's see. The audio is really loud. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, I think it's a little louder on the videos. All right, you guys want to watch me chug some water again? Fascinating stuff here. We'll see if Mike comes back, but in the meantime, you can look at my beautiful background. We got a Lips phone, and $12 times cash is good, but not as good as 5 times. Yeah. Joe, your fans want to know when Lit Chat is coming back. I'll hang up and listen. I think I'm going to change it to a new show called Mission DILF. So I think I'm going to try to document my working out and exercise, all that kind of stuff, and walking. We'll call it Mission DILF, and we'll see what, we'll see how it works out. I mean, it's a good way to keep me invested in my health for the future. So I like that. What do you guys think of Mission DILF? Is Damian Williams worth $33? I think he is. If he's going to be getting if he's going to get many touchdowns in a week, then I would say he's worth $33. But the thing is, what I don't understand is that why invest that much when Tariq Cohen is coming back within the next week or two? What do you guys think? Go for it. That's what Rocky would have said when he was taking on Clever Lang. How does my audio sound? Does it sound clear with the microphone near my face? Real nice, and that it'll be a high success. Where has Billy been? I don't know. He hasn't been turning in. It's clear. Thank you. Have you guys seen the show Squid Game yet? Mike says his internet isn't working. Maybe the government got to him. Hopefully not. Ooh, no. I know, it's hilarious, isn't it? Have you guys watched any good shows lately? Mom, Dad, Uncle Frank, where are you guys? Joe is stalling. Wrestling trivia time. Go for it. Spending 8 hours in a bus tomorrow? Where are you playing at? What was the main event of each location at WrestleMania 2? All right, let's see if I can figure this out. I think in New York, it was Roddy Piper versus Mr. T in the boxing match. I think in Chicago it was the NFL wrestler over the top rope battle royal, and in Los Angeles it was Hogan and Bundy. Is that correct? Suffield, Connecticut, almost in Massachusetts. Oh. Well, you can at least watch some Squid Game. I hear it's a really good show. Everyone's been talking about. Either that or watch film on the bus. Yes, that was a softball. Come on, give me a good one. All right. See if these guys can stump me. What was the match before the main event at WrestleMania 2000? I want to say it was a match that had Terry Reynolds in it. It was like a bra and panties type match. I want to say like Terry Reynolds versus the Cat. Was that the answer? Yes, a check. We're checking WrestleMania 2000. Hold on. No, it was Kane and Rikishi defeating DX. All right, well, I was wrong. Sorry. I thought it was going to be a quick match that a quick bathroom break. So, all right, well, let's end this tonight, guys. Thanks, Pat, for staying here. And hopefully Mike will be back next week. I'm not sure if I read off his mega parlay, so I'll see if I can get to it. Let's see. His mega parlay is the Patriots -8, Eagles Panthers over 45.5, Cowboys -7, and the Buccaneers -9.5, which was a parlay of plus 1228. And it's close to mine, which is 1234. So it's kind of similar chances to win. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's always got. Stay tuned for Countdown. Who's your guest this week? see what Pat says, and then we're gonna. Oh, he left. Oh well. All right then. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll stay lit. See you next time. Hopefully I beat Mike, and then everyone have a great weekend and happy football to you all. Good night.